Well, what a show today. Who needs Gem Y Rye, I say.
Yeah.
I've changed the air conditioning for you. I made the desk go up and down.
I've made you 1,000 cups of tea, so we're even.
I kind of like the idea of you making the teas.
On the show today, have you ever been told something really random and small and weird by a psychic? One of our producers had a friend who was told, your dead grandfather says someone in the house is eating too much bread.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what they say, the whiter the bread, the closer to dead.
All right.
Also, Sean McAuliffe, I'm not looking into any crystal balls or anything because it says it right here in front of me and we already did the show.
Yeah.
So I know that Sean McAuliffe is going to be within this podcast.
We're going to talk about Blues Fest being cancelled, the possibility of $10 coffees.
Yep.
What do you make of Naplan? We put it to the pub test.
Samuel L. Jackson, where's he when you need him, when you've got lice on a flight? Actually, he'd be okay because he's bald.
That's what happened. It caused an emergency landing. All of these things will be discussed.
In our podcast.
Everybody
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda.
Miss Keller. Amanda.
Doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles.
Congratulations, Mandy. We're on the radio right now.
What is it, you nutface?
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio.
Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
But you're an idiot.
Jonesy and Amanda are here.
It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the air.
Well, hello there, Amanda. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you going?
I am well. I left you yesterday. We had a farewell for one of the people that used to work for us, Millie. She has left us to have a child, little baby Ralph. She had the baby Ralph, and then she's moved on to another radio network.
Yeah, she's not living in Sydney anymore, but love her very much, and it was really nice to see her yesterday.
I wanted to hang around with you guys, with the gal pals, but I had to drop my motorcycle off for a service by 2:00. What time did you get out of there?
Probably about 4, and I thought, look, I'm just going to go and have a cup of tea and a salad. Of course, I sat around with the chicks. I had 2 glasses of wine, had hot chips.
Oh, nice.
It was very nice. So
Yeah.
I left my car at work here.
Yep.
And, almost forgot that I had. And my sons came over for dinner last night, and one of them wanted to park in the garage. So I leave this morning, and he left the garage door
don't even
wide
say
open. I know
that.
that's your
Don't
biggest
even.
anxiety. That's your biggest anxiety.
So when would I talk to Jack about this?
I don't know which of my
So
sons it
that's
was.
so Jack.
Yeah, it is. Well,
That
you're
is
lucky in
so
your
Jack.
house because you've got his and hers garages.
Yes, and that works for me because it used to, at my old house, the garage door was huge. And I'd just come home and it would be open and there'd be motorbikes, all my tools, all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, it'll be okay, it'll be okay. I'm going, yeah, Johnny Ice Pipe's walking past. And now we live in peace because my garage is like a vault.
And does she leave hers open for Johnny Ice Pipe?
I don't care. She can,
For
whatever.
Johnny Opportunistic Burglar.
It doesn't bother me because,
No.
and it's a real marriage sale.
Yeah. Well, our garage also has internal access to the
No,
house.
don't even
I
say
saw
it.
this morning, thought, that's great.
Now I'm going to have to camp outside your house.
No. Well, I'm glad that I didn't know it through the night. I wouldn't have slept a wink. What you don't know doesn't hurt you.
You know what I do at night? I go and check the perimeter of my house.
You're like a Labrador.
I do. I go and check everything, make sure someone's out the front of my house. What are you doing, mate? What are you doing? Why are you here? You know, and then I make sure that everything's okay.
You're very hard to live with.
Probably a little paranoid.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saving my fingernails like Howard Hughes, okay?
He saved his urine as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's your next step, bottling your urine. Store it in your own garage, Brendan.
It's Wednesday. Sean McAuliffe is going to be joining us on
Yep.
the show today. He's got a new TV show. I'm looking forward to catching up with him. Also, we have got the Magnificent Seven. We can't do anything till we do that. I was going to mention Instagram as well. It's just that Gem Y Rye's not here another day. Now he's actually gone to the doctor.
Yeah.
So for the Gem Y Rye army, or 2 of you, what happened? He went to the Mary MacKillop Museum down
it's
here.
not connected. Don't blame.
He went to the
Mother,
cafe.
Saint Mary, she's
Yep.
saint.
And he's got the digestive system of a moth, so he can't eat anything or do anything. So he's can't come into work today.
I wouldn't connect that to the Mary MacKillop Cafe.
I'm not saying I'm not casting any.
I think you might be, and I don't think you should, because everyone else went and they were fine.
So that's what I mean. It's just his delicate
Constitution.
ecosystem. But we'll get through it. Let's get into the Magnificent Seven.
Question 1. The phrase down the rabbit hole refers to which classic novel?
Jam Nation. We have for you the Magnificent Seven. 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions quickly? If you do that, Amanda will say...
I'd actually forgotten that I left my car at work. And when I heard that Liam was going down to the garage to park his car or something, I said, can you get something out of the boot? And he came back and said, I don't know how to tell you this. You don't have a car here. You know when you do that and you can't remember?
What are you, Justice Einfeld?
I know.
Parking your car around places and you can't remember?
I can't remember I've left
The
it.
good thing is management thinks you were burning the midnight oil yesterday.
Working here, that's
Working
right.
away.
Remember we worked with Chris and he had lost... He couldn't remember where he parked his car. The last minute he had to fill in at a wedding. He had to be one of the officials at a wedding. Mm-hmm. And so he'd left his car somewhere, gone out, went to a party.
And he was
blah, blah, blah.
anxious about it, and he got himself obliterated.
He paid no attention to where he'd parked his car. For the next 2 days, couldn't find his car.
Yeah.
So remember, we got a psychic in.
Yeah. Went to hypnotise him.
We hypnotised him, that's right. And through hypnosis, he could see the junction of the 2 streets that he'd parked, and that was his car.
Hypnosis, eh? Dale's in Waterloo. Hello, Dale.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Very well, thank you. The phrase down the rabbit hole refers to which classic novel?
Alice in Wonderland?
That's it.
These days, many people going down the rabbit hole with stuff. What is the main ingredient, but not you, Dale, what is the main ingredient in baba ganoush?
Baba ganoush. It is...
Thanks, Dale.
We could listen to you do that all day, Dale, but really.
Jackie's in Ingleburn. Do you know, Jackie, the main ingredient in baba ganoush?
Is it eggplant?
It is eggplant.
Let's play Reverse It.
Put my thing down, flip it and reverse it.
We're playing a song in reverse. What is it?
Ew.
Oh. Is it a Cold Chisel song?
No, it's not. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, Jackie. That's hard.
That is
hear
a
it
tough
again.
one.
It's
Okay, have
awful.
a
Let's hear it
listen.
again.
I got it. I got it.
That's awful.
Do you know the answer to that?
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
We are into the Magnificent Seven,
Oh, we're playing reverse it, which, you know,
which is always...
it's always hard on the ears. This one in particular makes my ears hurt. Have a listen.
I think we get it.
Oh.
James is in Riverwood.
Do you know the song, James?
Yeah, that's got to be Thunderstruck.
Yes, it is. That's better. Question 4. Thank you. Sydney's Luna Park was originally built for which Australian city? A, Brisbane, B, the Gold Coast, or C, Adelaide?
Adelaide.
Yeah.
You said that with a degree of authority, James. Are you a Luna Park perv like I am?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I moved it all over from Adelaide to here.
Yeah, after its lack of success in 1930 to 1935 when it was in Adelaide, yeah, they dismantled it and constructed it where it is now.
Actually, they moved all of Adelaide over to here back then as well. It's now called Parramatta. It's true. Question number, what are we up to, Amanda? 5. An archipelago refers to a chain or cluster of what?
Small island.
Yeah, James, that's right. Let's get to question 6 for you. In the nursery rhyme, how many bags of wool does Baa Black Sheep have?
3 bags full.
Yeah, do young kids still know these nursery rhymes? In us, like you, James,
Yep.
we all know this stuff, like we're born knowing it. Have you got kids, James?
Yeah, I got one.
Have you taught your child the nursery rhymes?
Yeah, of course. You got to.
Yeah, I can't remember if I did. I assume my kids would know this. Interesting, isn't it? How about you, Brendan?
Yeah, sure. You know, I used to teach the nursery rhymes back in the day.
Are you all right? I used to teach the nursery
I'm just trying to
rhymes.
remember it so long ago.
Question 7 for you here, James.
Here we go, James. All in.
Mad as Hell was hosted by who?
Oh, it's Sean McCarthy.
It is.
know it,
Sean's on our
baby.
show today with his new show.
What's his new show called?
It's called Eve
Oh,
of
I don't know that
Destruction.
one.
No,
we
not
won't
you,
ask that.
James. We're
We
gonna-
won't, that's too hard. No, it's called Eve of Destruction.
Oh, Sounds nice. James, congratulations to you. You've won $150 to spend on dinner at Hurricanes Grill. Feast at Hurricanes Grill, Circular Quay, Brighton Le Sands, Castle Hill, Pyrmont and Bankstown. In-season passes for you and 3 friends to see The Fabulous 4, starring Susan Sarandon and Bette Midler in cinemas from August 1. It's happening now. And Jonesy Demander caricature, fit, colour and some standard pencils. I say, James, anything you'd like to add to this?
No, absolutely love it. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, legend.
Thank you. Thank you,
James. One for the
Appreciate
master, one for the son, and one for the little...
one for the master, one for the dame, one for the little boy who lived down the lane.
That's right. Yeah. What do they get? Bags of wool.
You know, it's interesting. We taught my children were obsessed with the Wiggles. Mm-hmm. And then years later, I'd sing a bit of the Wiggles songs and they couldn't remember. It's like Puff the Magic Dragon, the sadness of how it leaves you. Can you stop that music behind me as I'm talking?
This is part of the show.
All right.
If you don't want razzmatazz, work at the ABC. These days you're handing out bags to NRL players.
Allegedly.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
Are you ready to go?
Let's go.
Go. You're a go for landing.
Let's go, you dumb idiots.
A grey old day in Sydney town. How's my hair? I'm not happy with my hair.
I know. You said to me, do you not like me because my hair is weird today?
You seem to be off me today.
That's not true. I'm just sitting here chilling. I'm sitting here in a zone.
In our relationship, I've known you for a long time, but I sometimes think one day I'm just going to break you and you'll just go, that's
Brendan,
it.
have you not noticed?
I can't stand
it happens
this.
once a week, and if you haven't noticed, you know what you do because Ryan's away, and some days it's charming and some days it's hard, is that you fill the space with ooh, yeah, woo. You fill the space with weird noises.
Well, we're on the radio. We're going to make weird noises.
No, this is when we're off the radio.
Okay. Well, do you want me to just sit?
If that's your content, that's terrible.
Do you want me to sit with my pie hole closed during the songs?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe this will cheer you
up. But I do love you, and you know that. It's nothing to do with your hair.
Thing to say. So you're not off me because of my hair?
No.
Thumbing through the Almanac, our big book of musical facts. Oh, this is good. On this day in 1978, the Police released their hit, Can't Stand Losing You.
78, wow.
But it wasn't always a hit.
Oh.
After the song was released, it received barely any airplay. According to the Police, that was because it was prohibited due to its punkness. But what's more punk than getting banned by the BBC?
Why was it banned?
Because it was punky. Lying about it to cover up the slow start of Roxanne, the band, not Roxette, the band claimed its lack of popularity was intentional. So when it happened with Can't Stand Losing You, they knew what to do. They said, okay, well, it's not, it's you can't handle this song.
Oh, okay.
We don't want
This is your fight for your flashback strategy. You put up a song and say, oh, people can't handle it. They're not brave enough to handle it.
That's what happens. So you know exactly what it's about. But it's a great song.
It's a great song.
Jam Nation.
And I was just thinking, you had a bit of a boozy lunch yesterday.
Well, I only had
Old
2
school.
wines, but I didn't want to drive.
Channel 7, Channel 9, good blokes on the piss having times.
It wasn't exactly like that. We were farewelling a
Bruce
female
Lerman
colleague,
there.
and all the guys left, and it was just 5 of us girls.
Well, I wanted to
loving
hang
it.
around, but I had to drop my bike off for a service.
Brendan,
I had to
we
take
didn't
to,
mind. We said, oh, go.
that had to be there at 2 o'clock.
Sure, off you go.
And so I left you, and at that stage you were going to drive home.
Well, I wasn't even going to have a drink. And then I thought, all these great women that we work with. One, Jacinda's on maternity leave. She brought her little baby Bailey along.
How cute is that baby?
And I hadn't seen Millie for a couple of weeks. It was just so nice for all of us to be together. And I thought, stuff it. I'll leave my car at work.
I got in trouble because I said that Millie looks healthy.
We know your code. And Millie said to me that the first thing you said to her is, this is how you said it, you look healthy.
I said, you look healthy, Millie.
We know what you mean by healthy. And then when I said to you that Millie had mentioned it, you said, I didn't say she was fat.
Away from that.
Yeah, someone who's just coming off maternity leave loves hearing that.
Have you seen our latest Jonesy and Amanda branded London cab?
This is a brilliant thing. I mean, the London cab is iconic enough.
Yep.
Imagine a London cab with our dolly faces all over it.
I saw it in the wild just driving around.
Brilliant. It's
so this is the thing. Because what we're going to do is we're going to get you to stuff in our little London cab.
Yeah, so we're starting this next week. The cab's going to be doing the rounds, helping you get to places if you need to go. It could be a school event. It could be a wedding. It could be a doctor's appointment. Let us know anything, because that's the stuff you can't park. It's hard to get there, all of that. Let us know and we will get you there. I assume we get you home again as well. Let's read the small print. Of course we get you home as
we'd
well.
have to get them home.
Of course we would.
Because you can't just drop them off.
No. So if you would like a lift in our Jonesy and Amanda London cab.
Do we have an app?
Yeah, well, just go onto our socials.
Remember the old days of the cabs and they had the two-way radio and there'd be a radio operator.
Mm.
Okay, we're going to go to Bexley, and then you're going to go to Rockdale and you're going to pick up Amanda. She's not...
Is that your next job?
She might have had a few drinks and got room for a beer and a case of
go
pizza.
to our socials. You can go to our website. You can go to Jonesy and Amanda. Tell us why you'd like to have a ride in our Jonesy and Amanda London cab.
Can you just go for a ride in it?
You go for a ride, but if there's some reason you need it, we'd like to know. We'd like to help you.
Imagine if I drove the cab. How good would that be?
Oh, yeah. The man who just yells at everyone.
You look healthy.
Oh, yeah. No, you'd be too verbal. But let us know how we can help you.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Did you ever go on a wacky diet? Did you ever do the Israeli army diet?
Yeah, I went on a Nutrimetics thing when I was a bit of an FC
Nutrimetics?
all those years ago.
What's Nutrimetics?
I was working in Karratha and I'd gone from the building site to this where you don't do any physical work anymore. And I just packed it on, ballooned to 120 kilos.
Wow, I can't imagine you being 120 kilos. What are you now? 105?
No, I'm 85. Right. I need to be 85. Right now, I'm heading into FC territory. I'm 86.7. So I've got to keep it 85.
Sure.
That's the right thing to be. So all those years ago, I got a Nutrimetic. It's like these pills and shakes and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Did it work?
No, not really. But then I did go on years later. I went on the Weight Watchers Points diet because I was talking about it and they sent me the thing. And I like statistics.
Yeah.
And so I started just like looking at,
this is why all those...
And it worked for me.
Yeah. This is why I think all those things where you have to write down what you've eaten, they're always going to work because you're much more conscious of your calories.
But I think about it when I stand on the scales in the morning in my undies and I trash talk myself like a mundane. I look at myself and I go, right, okay, I need to drop 1.5 kilos. So no more bread, no more chips.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Well, how about this crazy diet? This was printed in Vogue magazine in the 1970s. It's called Wine and Eggs. You do it for 3 days and they reckon you'll lose 2.5 kilos.
Oh.
Here it goes. Breakfast. 1 egg, hard-boiled. I'm having that right now, actually. 1 glass of white wine, preferably Chablis. This is for breakfast. And black coffee. Lunch. 2 eggs, hard-boiled. 2 glasses of wine, black coffee. Dinner. Steak, grilled with black pepper, lemon juice. The remainder of the white wine, 1 bottle allowed per day, black coffee. So that's it. Eggs, steak and wine. Wine at breakfast, wine at lunch. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's bizarre, isn't it?
That's when they live to 42 and we're happy for it.
Well, remember the Darren Hinch diet? Remember this? He actually put out this book. I'll tell you what his diet was. 25 years ago, this was the #1, the Sydney Daily Telegraph bestseller. It outsold Naomi Wolf's The Beauty Myth.
Yeah.
This was his diet, the soup and wine diet. It consisted of soup, a bread roll and white wine. That was it. Massive bestseller. Sounds fabulous until he realised he needed a liver transplant some years later.
Conditions apply.
Some conditions
you
apply.
might need a liver transplant.
Going to hospital is one way to lose weight.
Jam Nation.
Moving into the ground right now.
Who wants some free money?
Instant.
Going fast.
Moolah.
I like the sound of that.
Jonesy and Amanda's
Instagram.
Hello.
We've got 10 questions, 60 seconds on the clock. You can pass if you don't know an answer. We'll come back to that question if time permits. You get all the questions right, $1,000.
And then I'm looking at the bonus question as we speak. You have to answer this bonus question for $2,000, but it is double or nothing.
We're going to get there first. Craig is in Liverpool. Hello, Craig.
G'day, how are you?
We're
are
very well, Craig. We're desperate to give some money away.
We just perused this edition and we're very disappointed with you. Not you, Craig, but everyone recently has not got past question 4. So this is possibly the easiest version.
No, well, we don't.
In my mind, I just think this is the Johnny Dumbo
Well, no,
edition.
that's not fair because as Craig will find out, once we start, there's pressure and stuff that you know other people may not know. So, Craig, there's no pressure, but we do have 10 questions, 60 seconds.
Let's go.
Yep, the best strategy, say pass if you don't know, all right?
Yep, no dramas. Let's go.
Craig, here we go. Question number 1. Traditionally, what colour is toilet paper?
White.
Question 2. Beef comes from which animal?
Cow.
Question 3. What is telly short for?
Pass.
Question 4. Ronald McDonald's the mascot for which fast food chain?
McDonald's.
Question 5. True or false, the Beatles were from Liverpool?
True.
Question 6. Which animal-themed Disney movie features the song Circle of Life?
Pass.
Question 7. How many eyes does a cyclops have?
Pass.
Question 8. Which US rapper has been a big feature in the recent games?
Puff Diddy.
No, we have to accept your first answer. It wasn't, yeah, you're right. It was Snoop Dogg, but you have to accept the first one.
I was thinking Puff Diddy because he smokes dope.
Craig.
You'll know what this. I thought telly. What's telly short for?
Television?
Yeah. And which Disney film has the Circle of Life?
You know it, Craig.
No, I don't.
Hakuna Matata.
It's a Lion King.
Yeah, my wife would kill me.
And Cyclops has how many eyes? One. One in the middle.
One.
Oh, Craig,
no.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I should have got it.
I know.
At least I got more than 4.
That's true.
That's true, Craig. That's true. Ah, man.
Sorry, Craig. Well, look, we'll play again tomorrow, and Craig, you got $100 to be getting on with.
Good on you, my man.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Let me get to this.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen a psychic. I don't believe in them, but maybe I don't believe in them because I'm scared there might be something in it. Do you believe in a psychic? Have you ever been to see a psychic?
No. I have, however, had a psychic write me a letter because he felt so strongly about my career when I came to this very radio station. He said, I'm sorry, I don't usually do this, but I've done a reading for you for your future, and your future is going to be great. And I was really worried when I first started here, it wasn't going so well for me, and I thought I was going to last about a week or so. So here I am 21 years later. So he said, you've got to lean into the female demographic. The female demographic is going to be your future.
Really?
You will do very well from the female demographic. And he said some other stuff, and then he said, drink more water. And that was it.
Interesting.
So I drink more water, and I have leaned into it. I'm like, really? I've been doing this for 21 years. You know, so that has to be some sort of modicum of success.
One of our producers said that a family friend of hers went to a psychic recently, and the psychic told her, said that your father is coming through. Grandpa, I think it was coming through. And this is the message. Your dead grandfather says someone in the house is eating too much bread. You know, my friend Anita, she years ago had a colleague who went to see a psychic, and the psychic said to her, you will have terrible luck in your love life. I can't see your work career going too well, but you'll always get good parking. And years later, Anita ran into her, and it was true. She'd been divorced a couple of times. Her job wasn't what she'd set out to do, and Anita had to bite her tongue to say, how's your parking?
She didn't ask?
She didn't ask.
So Anita.
I know. Did you get a park outside?
Psychologists, they never get
never get the meat.
They never get to the meat.
It's interesting, isn't it, though, that the stuff that, yes, they might tell you the big stuff, but it's the small random stuff that's so funny.
True, I like it.
Wasn't Tribal Drumbeat for this? Random stuff the psychic said.
Madam's in there.
So we're not looking necessarily for your stories of they said this to me and it came true. What's the random left-of-field stuff the psychic's thrown at you?
Eat less bread, drink more water, good parking.
Yeah.
Jam Nation.
The Tribal Drama's beating...
Madam's in there.
Random stuff the psychic said. A friend of mine had a colleague who was told things would go terribly in her love life and at work, but she'd always get good parking.
20-odd years ago, a psychic wrote me a letter, said, I don't usually do this, but I just want to tell you I see big things for you.
This isn't any excuse for a backdoor brag here.
The radio station said, just lean into the female demographic.
Then you hired me.
Of which I like to think I have. And drink more water.
Drink more water. One of our producers said a family friend was told yesterday that your dead grandfather says someone in the house is eating too much bread.
Wider the bread, the closer to dead. We know it. Tina has joined us.
Hi, Tina.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Very well. What did the psychic tell you?
That I was going to be a time traveller and transport back into the 1800s.
And how's that worked out for you?
Yeah, I'm still here today. I would love to go back and live in that era without technology, but no, I'm still here today.
Right.
I'd always be anxious with time travel about the sanitation.
1800s is good sanitation. You wouldn't want to go any further past...
Any further back?
Yeah, 1800s is good. We had sewage systems were starting
flushing toilets?
Flushing toilets had been a crapper. The guy, that's fun fact for you, Tina, had patented his flushing toilet by the 1800s.
Okay. All right, well, then I can handle
Yeah,
that.
1400s, no.
So, Tina, don't be anxious. If you do go back, you're going to be okay.
See, women are all into the romance of, what's that show that you like?
Outlander.
Yeah, but, then you got
I want toothpaste and toilet.
a stinky bum. Sarah.
I do wonder about the random hookups.
Yeah,
with
it's
stinky bum.
just stinky bum.
Hello, Sarah.
Good morning. How you going,
Very
guys?
well.
Good,
What
thanks,
did the
Sarah.
psychic tell you?
Well, she told me my future husband would be very hirsute and wear a size 8 shoe.
It's very specific.
Yeah.
It is. They're very hairy. And he does.
Really?
Do you think that she planted that in your head, that you went to, you saw Wolfman
must have
Jack
been
and you thought,
attracted.
yes, I'm in?
Oh, it's just crazy. But it was about 6 months before I met him, and it's exactly how he was.
Wow.
Wow, it's the power of suggestion. Robin's in Windsor. Hello, Robin.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well. Tell us about the psychic. What random stuff were you told?
Okay, well, I had a girl online. She goes, oh, darling, can I give you a reading for free? And I went, yeah, why not? She goes, my ancestors are telling me you have got so much negative energy around you, it's going to eat you and take your life if you don't cleanse yourself. So I cleanse myself by deleting and blocking her.
I would imagine her cleansing would have been pay me a bunch of money.
And I'll send you some fluids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm not getting sucked into that again.
No.
And has your life been okay, Robin? Like, really?
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. It's great.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't
So
it?
there you go.
Someone says here that the psychic said that they'd lose $25 and said her fee was $25, so she was right.
Thank you, Robin.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Sam Nation.
Podcast.
Bingo, bango, ready to go?
So ready to go.
Okay, let's do it.
We're talking Tribal Drumwise, random stuff the psychic told you. Many years ago, I had a cold reading sent to me. I just started at this radio station. I was really concerned I'd made the wrong decision. I felt it was the wrong station, and the listeners felt that, management felt that. It was just terrible.
Apart from that, everything was looking up.
It was just terrible. And this psychic wrote me a letter. He said, I don't usually do this, but here's the thing. You're going to be very successful. You have to lean into the female demographic and drink more water. You said before it's a backdoor brag.
Yes, it's the water bit that we're interested in because we're talking about the random stuff the psychics say.
Exactly.
Madam's in the hair.
One of our producers has a friend who said your dead grandfather said someone in the house is eating too much bread.
That's what we're talking about. Eleanor's with us.
Hi, Eleanor.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. What random thing were you told?
I got told by one lady that concentrates on past lives, and she said to me, do you struggle talking to some people, and some people you find awkward and you feel uncomfortable with? And I said, oh, yes, I do. And she said, oh, that's because you were a mute in a past life.
And did you just laugh, or have you taken that on board and it makes sense to you?
Well, I was expecting to hear I was going to be a princess.
Yeah.
But
still, it's better than a mute.
In the whole scheme of things, when you look at the biblical stuff, you got mutes, you got lepers.
I know. And everyone has a bit of social anxiety.
Yeah.
Being told that you've got it because you were mute. Well, it's really
when I was told I was younger.
You're a younger mute.
A younger mute. Someone here said, I was told I'm single because I was a whore in a past life.
Oh, well.
Oh, dear
Imagine
me.
being a mute whore.
Stop thinking, Brendan.
Joanne.
Hello, Joanne.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Very well. What were you told?
My husband and I went on a psychic cruise, and we both went to a different psychic, but at the same time. Mine said I was to stop picking at myself, and his told him he had a fairy on his shoulder.
What do you mean picking at yourself?
I don't know. I've got no clue.
No, being hard on yourself, Joanne.
Or
Do you have a lot of negative?
No, physically picking.
Oh, have you got skin disorders?
No.
Pimples?
I had no clue what that meant at all.
And did having a fairy on his shoulder, did your husband relate to that in any way?
No, he just got the pip.
Oh, well, at least you can laugh. Yeah. Wow.
Thank you, Joanne.
Psychic cruise, the Titanic.
And
no
look,
one saw that coming.
It's Garth.
Hi, Garth.
Hi, how you going? She didn't tell you the full story.
Oh, you're
that was
married.
Joanne, my wife.
Right, okay. So we got like you guys doing your own show now.
Well, I'm on more times than you, remember?
What happened, Garth?
Well, we're on the Nepean Bell psychic cruise, but after my psychic just stared at me for the full 10 minutes, and all she can come up with was a fairy on my shoulder. But at the same time, apparently my dad was talking to my wife over on another psychic, and all he had to say was, "Say hello to my son."
Oh.
So
and that was it.
He came through the psychic and just said, "Say hi."
He came through to Joanne.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he was
It come from me because he died on bad terms. We're not talking to each other.
Oh. And were you happy to hear that?
Not really.
It's weird. I mean,
that's
but if you're going to contact someone from the other side, why don't we get information on here's what it's like on the other side?
I'd like
Here's
that.
what happens when you die. No one gives that information.
Yeah. Like, I'd like to hear from my dad, I was hanging out with Elvis or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you get to hang out with the people
This
like
is
that?
why don't
Is
we
there a
know that?
special place like, all the famous people, they say rock and roll
Is
heaven.
there a red carpet area?
Yeah, do you have like the plebs say, Elvis is in heaven and everyone's going, "Hey, Elvis, I know you."
No, you'd still be dead VIPs. That's why don't we ever get that information rather than just, "Hey, I'm saying hi."
You know what? If I go before you, it's going to be like the ghost of Mrs. Muir.
Oh, you perv at me in the shower.
He never perved at her. He said, "Hello, Mom. I just see you."
Yeah, and he was in his Argyle jumper the whole time.
That's what I'm going to do.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation podcast.
Let's get on down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test. And today, NAPLAN doesn't pass the pub test.
The results are out, and 1 in 3 Australian school students aren't meeting literacy and numeracy benchmarks, which is a bit alarming. More than 1 in 10 are so far behind they need additional support, the 2024 NAPLAN results show. So the problems are consistent. This year's results are no better than last year's, and it's across every state and territory. At least 30% of students are falling behind with their proficiency benchmarks.
How are they going with the numbers, the numeracy?
Well, girls are better at English and boys are better at numeracy, but all of it's a little bit down. So it's interesting about the NAPLAN because it doesn't assess, it examines the students, but this is really for feedback to schools and for teachers. So let's look at the for and against. Obviously, against, students get nervous and anxious and get very stressed having to have these exams. For, in that regard, is some say that the NAPLAN offers students a chance to do exam study, to practice tests.
Yeah.
It's good for them.
But life is about tests.
Well, maybe, but do you want to start earlier than you have to? Another one here, they're saying that it makes everyone accountable. NAPLAN provides a standardised measure of student performance so schools and teachers can assess whether they're meeting the standards. But other people are saying, critics are saying, that because the students don't necessarily get the feedback, the information is not designed for student consumption, so you don't get to see how you're going and change how you're studying.
But it's a litmus test for the school.
For the school. And another way of looking at this is people are saying the focus is too narrow on literacy and numeracy and doesn't address broader educational needs. So maybe students are getting a great education, but it's not quantifiable as literacy and numeracy.
Yeah.
Others are saying we have to quantify numeracy and literacy or we fall behind.
Maybe they've got to focus more on the literacy and the numeracy. When I was a kid at school, for example, maths was the king of the world and I was dreadful at maths. But my English was very good. But the problem with that was because I was bad at maths, I was put into all the Dumbo English classes. So I was reading with Gronk, who couldn't read a Dr. Seuss book, and I was way ahead of him. So I lost interest in school and then left school in year 10 when I could have done a lot better, I think, by these standards.
Well, how do you feel? The NAPLAN, we've heard the for and against. What do you make of it? Does NAPLAN pass the pub test?
Jam Nation.
How much would you pay for a cup of coffee? At the moment, it's probably $4.50, $5, depending where you get it.
Yeah.
And Australians are obsessed with their coffee, as we know.
We love it.
It's the new Smoko.
And you go overseas, you can't get a good coffee.
Well, I'm not much of a coffee drinker. I'll have a really weak instant coffee, but a shop coffee is too strong for me. So that's why I'm a tea drinker pretty much. But looking at this, I wonder how much Australians will pay for a cup of coffee because, according to Richard Forbes, the Chief Executive of Independent Food Distributions Australia, don't you know, we could be at some point getting a $10 cup of coffee because this is the problem is that, well, the award has gone up, so the coffee shop owners have to pay more in wages. Gas, electricity, food groups, all of that. There's been a 30% increase in the cost of food over the last 3 years. Energy bills, all of that stuff. This is what's alarming, is that 43% of small businesses made no profit in 2023. Huge rate of insolvency in that industry, which makes it really hard, doesn't it, as to what do you do? Because as he says, coffees should be about $8 or $8.50, but we're stuck at $5.50.
Right.
Because no one's going to pay more than that. You see TikTokers all the time saying, look how much I've paid for a small piece of toast and a coffee. And yet, why should the business absorb those costs? They can't, and therefore businesses fail.
I guess it's following the path of beer. Remember the $10 beer? That's probably about...
How much is a beer?
Well, a beer it hit $10 about 2 or 3 years ago at places like the Snow. You'd go to the Snow and you thought, well, I'm at the Snow, of course.
It's expensive. Of course you're going to pay
for
more.
a beer. And I was talking to the barkeep there about the $10 beer, and he said it's going to hit your area soon, the $10 beer. At that time, it was about $8.50 or something. Now it's $10. The other day, I went to get a beer, and it's up to $12.50. And now we just accept that.
Well, but should
for a
we...
beer, you get a six-pack for $12.50.
But should we not accept it? I mean, it's cost of living isn't just for us. It's for the people who are providing that stuff as well. It's not just price gouging or, hey, how come this price is going up? Everything's getting more expensive. Cosy lives for the people who are providing it as well. So it'd be interesting to know, would you pay $10 for a coffee? It's like petrol. Petrol just goes up and up and up, and we go, okay, yeah, we need our petrol.
But petrol's good at the moment. Have you noticed it's quite cheap?
Well, it never comes completely down, does it?
No, it's
but
not
having
really
said
free.
that, will people see coffee as the same kind of commodity? I have to have my coffee. For a while there, my dad worked in financial services, and then he bought a coffee shop in Brisbane years ago. And he was probably in his 60s when he did it. And the margins are so narrow. And if there's a coffee shop that opens within walking distance of yours and it sells something that's 10 cents cheaper than yours, people will not buy yours. He used to have people who'd come in with old people who'd come in with their own tea bag. So Dad had to pay staff, had to wash the cups, all of that sort of stuff. So, but that's what you do for customer loyalty, or else you don't keep them. It's hard.
What do? You make your own coffee, you start making home brew. I've been down that path.
Yeah.
Make your own petrol.
Maybe that's the next step.
Jonesy and Amanda. Sam Nation.
Podcast.
We're not gonna take it.
I want you to get up right now.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell. I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test, and today, NAPLAN, does it pass the pub test?
1 in 3 Australian school students aren't meeting literacy and numeracy benchmarks. That's what we have discovered from last year's NAPLAN. The results have just come out. What does this mean, and does it matter? The NAPLAN is designed to see the standard of schools and teachers, I guess. It stresses students out. Some are saying that's a good thing, early practice tests. How do you feel? The NAPLAN, does it pass the pub test?
I'm a teacher at European School in Sydney, and I was able to be educated. My wife is educated, and I tell you what, it's the technology of the children, and it's all of this social media. The children do not have their mind on school, and neither do parents. They're very lazy parents.
When I was about 11, I knew that I was an academic. So I basically just daydream out the window, kept me cool, got on with life. It's not the be-all and end-all. You do your best, you learn a bit. Basically, it's just a child-minding centre.
Certainly not, because I'm a deputy principal, and does anyone talk about the population mix where we're walking into classrooms where basically 25 or 30 out of the 30 kids are all born overseas. They don't speak English at home, their parents don't speak English, and there's no support. So measuring it against a time when Australia was an Anglo population and not taking into account the population changes of non-English speakers means it definitely fails the pub test, and it's a waste of time.
Wow.
Interesting perspective, isn't it?
He's got to keep up with the times. Because if you were in another country, if you, say, were in France, you'd have to speak French if you went into the school, surely.
I don't know.
Well, how do you get on?
Well, we do have, I'd like to think we have support for those families and the kids. That's a very interesting perspective.
Thank you for all your calls.
Jam Nation.
Sad to read the news this morning that the Byron Bay Blues Festival is not going to be returning next year. It is over, and this is just the latest in a big line of festivals that have been cancelled, really. This is probably the biggest one to call it quits, but we've had Big Day Out, Soundwave, Stereosonic, all kind of have carked it over the last decade. And interesting, last year at this festival, they had Jimmy Barnes, Jack Johnson, Tom Jones, Ben Harper, Elvis Costello, draws big names. and they still can't sustain it.
They're expensive. And also, I think they've become too mainstream, all those festivals. They used to be great. You used to be able to go along there and, you'd get out of your gourd and watch the Grateful Dead or someone play. Those days are gone. It's become too corporatised now. You got to have your little thing on and you can't drink this. You got to drink watery mid-strength beer. I went and saw Neil Diamond and they're feeding me that horrible Great Northern junk. Well, give me a real beer.
Yeah, but in terms of music festivals, we're talking sort of the true nature of a music festival where you go for a couple of days and you camp and you see a whole lot of bands over that period of time.
Have you ever done that?
No, it's not my thing. But it's interesting that it doesn't seem to be many people's thing anymore. The nature of it has changed. A national survey has found that people aged 18 to 35 found that 90% of people were deterred from going to festivals because of security issues, interesting, cost, obviously.
You mean security issues as they were worried about their security, or security was too
strong? I don't
rigorous.
know. But as they're saying here too, it's not just the cost of a ticket to the festival, it's the price of getting there, cost of accommodation. And you add that up against going to see a big act in town like Taylor Swift. They say people would rather fork out on one ticket for a big one-night concert that you're going to have FOMO over, that everyone you know is going to be talking about. You get ready in your own home, you go to the show and you go home again. That's where people are preferring to spend their money. And I wonder too if, we did this as a pub test last year when another one got cancelled. And a woman said that her daughter, who used to love going to festivals, the COVID years kind of changed it. That demographic now don't want to go and live in a tent for 3 days. They'd like to spend their money on nice things like makeup. They want to have a shower. They don't want to do what festival goers used to love, which was that Woodstock kind of roll around in the mud. But with the ones overseas, the Glastonbury is still going strong.
But it's got the population. And you get Iron Maiden playing next to Queen.
You're going to get all the biggest bands in the world. Because these concerts are starting to get cancellations, it's really hard now to book in acts that can do it. Lack of ticket sales at a festival has a knock-on effect, as they say. Promoters can't pay the artists or the vendors, so you're left without those basic tenets of a festival.
I like the idea of a musical festival, but I don't want to go to one. But I like the idea of it.
Yeah, it goes back for me to Portaloos and stuff like that.
The toilets.
The toilets.
When you were at Knotfest last year, you complained endlessly about the toilets. I
get a cup of tea?
I thought the toilets were up to
Could I have a chair with some back support, please?
And also Slipknot wasn't even at Knotfest.
Oh, outrageous.
What's happened?
I know, I was Devo.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation podcast.
Well, he's the mastermind behind some of our favourite TV shows. And of course, talking about your generation, a show that played a huge role in my life. Mad as Hell is another. But Sean McAuliffe is about to launch a new show tonight on the ABC. It's called Sean McAuliffe's Eve of Destruction.
Wow.
Sean, hello.
Good morning to you, Sean.
Jonesy, Amanda, thank you very much for talking to me during Logies Week. I'm not going to the Logies. I am not nominated for a Logie, yet you have made the time to talk to somebody, me, about something that's not to do with the Logies. I congratulate you.
Well, neither of us are going either, and we're not nominated as well. So why don't we all sit in our pyjamas together on Sunday night?
I remember being at a Logies one year and I was stroking your Logie when you won it for something.
That wasn't my Logie.
You were with your wife, who's lovely, and I said, "Can I feel that, please?" And you said, "Excuse me, she's got a name." And I said, "No, your Logie. Can I feel that Logie?" And it was quite nice to hold.
It was nice. Amanda's. You felt a Logie, haven't you? You had a Logie yourself, Amanda.
No, well, as part of a team, I felt a Logie. I haven't felt a solo Logie.
She's come close.
She's been nominated. I know she was nominated for gold and robbed, as far as I'm concerned, in terrible circumstances, Amanda. I don't know why you haven't got your Hall of Fame one yet.
Oh, aren't you kind? I think you have to be 80. So maybe next year for me.
All dead. I'm looking forward to that in my case.
Well, it was funny. Jonesy leaned over and said to someone last time, "Oh, I bet I wouldn't even make it into the in memoriam."
No, I was
quite seriously. He was anxious he wouldn't be included.
The memoriam was playing, Sean. And Angela Bishop said, "I probably won't get into the memoriam," about herself. And I said, "Angela, I'm thinking that I'm a chance of getting into the memoriam. So if I'm thinking that, you're certainly in the memoriam."
Yeah, so an argument ensued.
Yeah.
Yes, how very generous of both of you to be having that conversation during one of the most moving parts of the Logie. It's all about you, isn't it? All about you.
Welcome to entertainment.
Well, let's talk about Eve of Destruction. I love this premise that You asked people that if their house was about to be destroyed, what would matter to them? What kind of thing would you take, Sean, from your place? But forget wife and children.
No, yeah. Well, like loved ones, they're okay. They're safe. Pets are safe. Your photographs are all up in the cloud. They're okay. Yes, it is an interesting psychological conundrum, isn't it? And for the most part, our guests have been very thoughtful, except for Stephen Curry, who's on tonight, who decided to bring in the most cumbersome items that he could think of. we actually had to get a truck. We had to get a truck to his house in the Macedon Ranges and bring it all the way into the city.
His favourite anvil.
Well, that would be handier. That would have been more convenient, an anvil. I, on the other hand, would have been more thoughtful for the interview and the production and picked more portable items.
Yes. Yeah.
I do have a lot of books. I'm a bit of a comedy nerd, and I've got quite a few books that are signed by the people who wrote them. Steve Martin, John Cleese. They're all kind of very important to me. But I think I would be paralysed with indecision if I had to only choose two. That's the problem with this show. Well, one of many problems. The other one being that I'm hosting and have never interviewed anybody before in my life. But I don't know. Fortunately, I'm not in that position. I don't have to decide.
You've interviewed people before. What do you say?
Yeah, I had a rotten show on Channel 9 about 20 years ago.
I love that show. I've still got a sticker. Have a look at this. Hang on, while you're playing.
Oh, my God. I didn't know we did any merchandising for that show.
On my headphone box, look, there's you. There's a little picture of you. Just, I know you can't see it, next to...
Yes, I can see it.
That's you when your show on Channel 9 came out.
There you go. There's your fan.
There's your fan.
Thank you. I'm glad that it's gone. I'm glad that it's still around, and I'm glad that I think they only made that one sticker and went to you.
Jonesy got it. I did a story for the living room about a club of doll collectors, and the woman said that a whole lot of female CEOs collect dolls or their childhood dolls, and they said that if there was a fire in their home, that's the first thing they would grab. These highly successful women would grab the doll that had meant the most to them when they were younger.
Oh, okay, so they would have to make that decision, that one that caused me so much angst of picking the one doll from the vast collection.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yes. I think very interestingly enough, and quite accidentally, this show has ended up, because the guest is actually handling the item and touching the item, they are kind of transported back a little bit to when they first got it and they feel what they felt when they first received it. So we've ended up there. I thought it'd just be a laugh, have a bit of a chat about things, hear a funny story, but it's actually quite surprisingly moving every now and again, which scares me because I'm not used to human emotion. I'm a bit like Spock, on Star Trek. I don't understand. What are these? What's this water coming from your eyes? I don't understand. So it's pretty much a standard question, I think, when you go to a psychologist or something like that, and they're drilling down on your angst and your anxiety, is to ask you that very question. Apparently, usually it's a fire.
That's usually straight after the ink blots. When they give you the ink blots, and they ask you about the trauma. And what
that's another great show, Jonesy.
Ink blots.
Ink blot show. I think that would be great. I could see you two both doing that well, just holding up blots.
Saying, what do you see?
What is it? Yeah, two
By the way,
girls.
if my house was on fire, I'd run back to get my Rorschach ink blot collection.
And Amanda's just showing off that she actually knows the name of Rorschach ink.
Thank you.
No, she's been in therapy.
She's just showing off in front of you, Sean. Well, I'm going to watch this show, Sean McAuliffe's Eve of Destruction, tonight at 8 o'clock on ABC TV and ABC iView. Sean McAuliffe, thank you for joining us.
I want to thank you two very much. You're the only commercial operation, usually my interviews are with the ABC, that you guys have made room for me during Logies Week, and I love you.
Dave, so you've got an audience
we love you
now.
Too.
Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
What's for breakfast?
Oh, there's egg and bacon and sausage and spam.
And a mug of dark beer to wash it down.
I saw a picture of our little London cab.
We've got this
out on the main
great
streets.
thing. The shape of a London cab is so evocative. It's just brilliant. Well, we've had a London cab wrapped, as they say, in our image, Brendan. So with our little dolly faces on it. So you're going to see that out and about in the streets. Even better than that, would you like to use it for good instead of evil? What we're asking you is, how can we help you? Do you have to go to a wedding? Maybe you've got a medical appointment. Maybe there's a day you want to visit a friend. We will get you there and back.
Happy to help.
In our London cab.
We could get Mark Latham in there if he wanted.
Why?
I remember he had the incident with the taxi driver.
Did he? Yeah. You have more incidents than that.
No, I do not.
So let us know why you think why you need a ride in our Jonesy and Amanda London cab. Head to our social pages, Jonesy and Amanda, and let us know.
Yep.
We're going to start this next week. Let us help you in our cab.
Let me role play this one for you. Like Amanda, who was written in, she was at a boozy lunch yesterday and had to get home.
Well, that's right. I left my car at work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's right. That could be one of the reasons. Let us know. There's no shame in any of it.
Go to it.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
I'm just going to start with this email we got from Terry and Joe. We were talking before about how coffees may get up to about $10 a coffee because just the cost of living isn't just increasing for the people who are buying the coffee, but for the people who are making it. He said, we were recently in Budapest. I went to the New York cafe, paid $20 for a signature coffee that has gold on the top. He sent me a picture of his tongue with gold on it. It was like licking a gold logie.
Oh, yeah.
He said it was average, wouldn't do it again, but would do it as a one-off.
For $20?
Let me ask you this, Brendan, speaking of travel, that international life, etc. An American Airlines flight from LA to New York apparently or reportedly made an emergency landing in Phoenix. Emergency landing, what do you think that might have been for?
Engine failure, wing failure, rudder failure, aileron failure.
What's that?
Ailerons.
What are they?
The things on the wings.
Oh, no, it's none
go
of that.
up and down. Wheel failure, landing gear.
Because of a case of nits, or lice as the Americans call them. So they claim that they saw a woman across the aisle from them panic, run to the front, tell the flight attendant that the woman sitting in front of her had nits in her hair. I know, no one wants to see it. No one wants to see nits. That's a horrible thing to see them crawling around in somebody's head. But at the same time, is that a medical emergency? So she insisted the plane was, made an emergency stop. Maybe the panic in the passenger may have been the incident.
Yeah.
But they had a 12-hour delay. They had to provide hotel vouchers for everyone on board, a very expensive landing because someone in there had nits. I mean, if you were sitting behind someone and they had nits in their hair, what would you do?
I wouldn't say anything.
No, I'd sit very
I've seen it. I've been in a queue at Woolies or somewhere like that, and there was a dude and he had these. They were bigger than nits. They looked like...
Oh, no.
I don't know what they were.
I don't want to
They
hear
looked
this.
like mini scorpions in his hair.
Handle this.
And there were tons of them. And I was fascinated. I was leaning in just to have a real good look because I thought I was hallucinating. And I went, whoa. And then I thought, oh, don't get too close in case of those.
Is that like crabs? Do you get them in your head hair?
Maybe it was. I've never seen crabs before. Have you?
No.
But they're...
Full disclosure, no.
It didn't look like a knit. It looked like...
Okay, that's just making me feel sick, like ticks or something. But research suggests, this is horrifying, because you and I have both been through the knit phase with our children.
You changed your inflection.
Yeah, because a lot of kids have them. You and I went through the knit phase with kids.
Because you know why? Back in the day, we had knit treatment that worked. It was chemicals. Now they've got this wokey junk. Oh, it won't hurt.
It's not that it's wokey. That's not the truth.
It is. It's all this stuff that's natural knit stuff, and it doesn't work. You need the KP26,
it's because
which
the
is like
knits,
kerosene.
Can I speak? It's because the knits have become resistant to all the treatments.
No, they've become resistant to, as I said, the aforementioned wokey natural treatments.
Well, anyway, apparently research suggests that 1/3 of Australian primary school primary school children right now have nits.
Yeah.
1/3.
Okay, well, bear that in mind, teach.
Jam Nation.
Everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the ghoulies get together.
Imagine what you could do with $20,000 cash. That's what's on the line for our favourite ghoulie of the year.
What have we got today?
What gets my ghoulies is when you're watching the footy on a Friday or Saturday night, enjoying it, and then you see those blokes blow their noses with their hands and flick it. It makes me puke, vomit, and I have to turn the TV off. Otherwise, I like the football.
How do you feel about the big bushy blow on the field? It's a bit mank, isn't it?
They've done it for millennia. They've done it the whole time.
Do they need to?
Yeah, you got to clean out the passages, but the problem is there's
The
so much
cameras now.
coverage
Yeah, I
these
know, I
days.
know.
You can't ever pick your bum without a camera.
No, you can't do a sneaky wee-wee, as I've discovered.
What else have we got?
Hi, Jonesy and Amanda. What gets my ghoulies is that I watch the weather forecast at night to work out what to wear tomorrow to work. Recently, the weather forecast said 15 degrees. Great. I dressed for 15 degrees. I froze. When I watched the news at night, the meteorologist told me the official temperature was 15 degrees, but the actual temperature was 9 degrees. I froze. That gets my ghoulies.
You know what I don't understand? What I don't understand with the weather is why they tell you what the weather was that day.
We don't care.
know. We've lived through that.
Tell
me
us
what-
the future,
tell
man.
me tomorrow.
I'm getting married on the weekend. What's happening?
Are you? Kept that secret.
Jam Nation.
Our favourite caller, email or Facebook friend wins a double pass to see Ice House at the Sydney Coliseum. You also get overnight accommodation at the Novotel and dinner at the award-winning Chew by China Doll. So this is at the Sydney Coliseum this September. Book tickets now at sydneycoliseum.com.au.
You also get the Jonesy and Amanda tea towel and key ring, which is pretty cool.
One of our producers said that a family friend...
Which producer, though?
Emily.
Emily Benunu.
One of her family friends had been to see a psychic. And the psychic said, your dead grandfather says someone in the house is eating too much bread. So the tribal drum was beating for random things, the psychic said.
Madam's in there.
Here's Eleanor from West Ryde.
I got told by one lady that concentrates on past lives, and she said to me, do you struggle talking to some people, and some people you find awkward and you feel uncomfortable with? And I said, oh, yes, I do. And she said, oh, that's because you were a mute in a past life.
It's old school. A mute. You're either a mute or a prostitute.
Wow, what a
Combine
combination.
the two.
Righto, you two. That's enough.
Ugly Phil, of course, is next with WSFM's Win Your Way Out of Winter.
We will be back from 6 tonight for Jam Nation.
See you then.
Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Wipe the tears, baby, from your eyes.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation Podcast. Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.